example. What did you see from Cole Ballard as Dale Marshall as he returned?
Another year of experience. If that makes sense to you, like it's another year. They had a really good summer. I think what kids are doing, what we did with our guys this summer, what they did was I kind of threw a lot at them. Like, and Lance always said it too. I probably told you guys, let's start fall camp at practice 15 of spring ball, not practice 1. So our offense, like we expected all of it to be in. If that makes sense. So it's great to have a room of 5 quarterbacks that have all been here now because David's been here for the spring. But having especially those little guys who are really experienced and can roll and not have to worry about I have to minimize this play call because these guys wouldn't be able to get it. So I think that's what I see. I call it the growth of functional intelligence. I call it the ability to process large amounts of info in a short period of time. They're just keep getting better at being able to process more and more, which makes it easier for us. So it's been great.
So we've talked yesterday about seeing kind of a different mindset from Jalen. Maybe that his game day mindset now extends to practices as well, and he's taking it more seriously. Have you seen that reflect in your own experience with him, and how does that kind of get?
I have, and it's just it's the 6th year. It's whatever it is, kind of last go around. Learned a lot from last season. I think the biggest thing was him getting through the season. You know, I think that was a big mental hurdle to come over, a hurdle to go over. I think for him to be like, okay, now it's good and it's my last go. You know, and I think he wants to obviously do the best he possibly can, but he's excited to kind of show the world that I'm ready to roll. So I really have seen it, but I've seen the more. He has always been a really smart, like QB in terms of picking stuff up from the board and drawing stuff up and processing stuff really fast. I like the confidence he has in being able to do it now, and I think he feels really confident, kind of being the older person in that room now, especially with all the new receivers and new positions, people all over the place. Is that he's kind of like, I'm the one that knows the like I know the most. I gotta make sure that I can give that to them and let it go. So that's what I've seen the most.
Jim, he's always been a willing mentor, and happy to help younger guys, all positions. But when it is, like you just mentioned, sort of that last hurrah, do you almost give him a pass and say, like, all about you, focus on you, let's just lock in and be the best you can?
Yeah, I guess I kind of use the Ted Lasso philosophy of, like, have fun, like, believe and have fun and just be you. Mm-hmm. I think what I don't want him to do, I felt like, you guys probably felt the same. I felt like last year, maybe, like Lance probably said, you kind of press sometimes maybe in moments because he cares so much about this school and the football team and his teammates. And now it wasn't about him trying to be, I want all these stats. Like he wanted to do. He loves this place, you know. I think. So I think that's more. I told him, dude. And tell the offense staff, I'm like, love is like one of our core. We have core values in the program, obviously, in offense. And like one of the big words we use is love. Like you gotta love your teammates and you gotta love playing. I go back and play the game for the reason you play it, for loving the game. It's not a job. It's a game. You played it because you wanted to play it. So let's just go out and have fun doing it. So hopefully that'll kind of resonate to all the guys too. It's gonna be a moment. I hope that kind of keeps them in the same spot. I don't want them to press. I just want them to have fun and enjoy life.
Was there a time last year where you felt like he maybe moved past the pressing, where he was having a little bit more fun, or being in the room with him? Like, what was that process?
I think it was probably we started rolling a little bit midway through the season a little bit. I think probably early on there's some situations that came about where he's probably maybe trying to maybe doing too much, or you know how that happens sometimes. So I think it's kind of like, okay, I'm like, and then it's sometimes in this position, the quarterback world, it just happens sometimes. It's like a roller coaster, and you just kind of hope the ups go more than the down, and as you go down, you just gotta understand it's gonna happen, and figure out why, hopefully, and I think there's more comfort level with how Jeff was calling the games and stuff like that. I think that's fair to say in that regard. Like, just kind of got okay, I kind of had a better feeling, and we started playing better in the program. So like the midway part, and then kind of got back to like, hey, I'm good, you know. And then carried on to the season.
Lubick has some kind of fun QB run game stuff, some option stuff. How has it been this offseason, sort of marrying what you want to do and what he wants to do, and how has that all come together?
It's been, you guys will see in a couple of weeks, right? It's been a blast. It's been, you kind of look at it as a bunch of guys getting together have had experience in different places and different programs. And the thing that are really similar with me and Matt, myself and Matt, is that we don't know it all. We don't. know it all. We want to see what else people are doing that is really good or can really fit into what we're doing. So I think the best coaches I've ever seen and talked to and learned from are the guys who don't know it all and want to keep learning and look at that concept from that school and go, hey, or study the program they're doing really well. What do they do? Oh, that kind of fits what we do. Does it fit? How can we add? Because obviously you can only do so much. But I think that's what Matt and I do. We're kind of like, I don't know what you call it, film junkies, but like football plays, offensive play junkies. And you kind of see it, and it's been a blast to be, and Andy was that way too. And that was really fun to kind of, when we're all, it was like cool. And now we're just kind of, let's do it, and we got another coach on staff that kind of had that feeling too. So that's just been a blast. It's been really fun going, oh yeah. And not me, you kind of watch the bowl game, I'm like, here we go. Like, let's go. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. We're gonna have fun doing it. So that's been awesome. He's great, and we have to look at ourselves and check ourselves sometimes and be like, whoa, maybe we're at that point.
Jim, with the receiver group,
Yeah.
a lot of new guys. What do you expect from them, and what do you see from them early?
From who?
The receiver group.
How do you say? Really a talented group, obviously, but a really fun group to be around. Like, you don't hear anybody moaning or groaning. Not that we did before either, but this is what I notice most is you get nervous sometimes when you bring a lot of different guys from different programs into one spot in one position. What's going to happen? You don't know. You heard stories about things happening in other places sometimes. These guys just blended together, gelled together. Obviously, Doug and Keith and some other guys that have been around, helped the cause, having Jalen around, and they just kind of like, I want to prove. With a lot of guys with chips on their shoulders and want to prove, and they'll want to prove to people that they can play really well. And I think that's what's really fun. Hard working, yes sir, no sir, have fun, care about each other. Has been a really fun part about it. Like, they really like each other. We love each other. In a short period of time, they bonded unbelievably well. That's what I'm most excited about.
How do you think Jalen's connection is developing with those guys?
Sorry about that. Really good, really good. I think it obviously been helped. The summertime, I think they did a great job this summer. I think summer you never know. You don't know until you know when you see them. The mini camps have helped us being able to have those, obviously. And we saw somebody like, this would be pretty fun. They worked really hard. You can tell the guys really worked hard to, we put it on and said, remember now, practice 15, not practice 1. I go, we're gonna call it like practice 15. And I go, I'm not, like, it's happening. This is real. And I think they really locked in and said, hey, I believe, I guess one of my philosophies right now, they believe that if you want guys to, if you put a lot on them, what you put on them is what they will learn, if that makes sense to you. The less you put on, the learn. If you press and say, you need to know this, the guys who really want to know it will know it. And that's what's been fun. So it's been, I'm excited about it. I think they really worked hard to be like, hey, this is gonna be fun, let's do it. So they've done a really good job.
Jaden Doss is a new addition.
Yeah.
What do you feel like he can bring to the room? Maybe not even necessarily this season, but just during his duration at KU.
I think we're really talented young man coming out of high school. I remember mine coming out of high school. And he adds, with the way that room is, you're going to lose some guys. I think it's a great way to bring somebody in who has a couple of years, has been to the program, has a couple of years still left to play. So I guess that balancing act within a room, not having too many at a certain age, it makes sense to you, kind of a good mixture. So I think that's what it'll bring. And obviously, I think he's going to be a really good addition in terms of athletic ability and skill set wise.
How do you feel about the tight end group and how that's all sort of filling out?
Good, I really do. The guys, Bowden, I mean, I gotta remember how Carson, okay, great, Deshaun. Some new guys have been around, they've all done a good job. They are a great group too in terms of really liking and caring about each other, being very versatile. What they are, like with Lubick obviously coaching them, really smart football wise too. We put them in a lot of different spots. You know that with their tight ends anyways, with Jerry Case and those guys. But Bowden and Deshaun, Carson, Layton, all those guys, Jaden Ham, they can line up in all different spots. And I think they've done a great job of the versatility that they're going to bring. And they're all kind of different shapes and sizes and skill sets. So I think it's been fun to be able to put them in different spots, different places, and let them roll. I'm really excited about it. A really good group. Really good group. I can remember them all. I remember them all. I got most of them, I think.
Breaking in 2 offensive tackles, what do you see from the potential with that group?
A lot of potential. A lot of, I said, young guy, younger, or older, different variations of different guys. But I think Daryl, what I'm most pleased with is having Daryl here to help. I think he does a great job with building the offensive lineman. I hate to say building wise in that way, but I think he's a great teacher. I think in what we do offensively, you have to be a great teacher and process information really fast as a coach. I think he does a great job of that. He's brought a lot of stuff in. He's a junkie too in terms of film. He's brought a lot of stuff into our offense as well. So I think that's what I'm most excited with those guys working with him and his ability to help those offensive linemen maximize their skill set. So I'm excited about those guys. I think the good thing is we've created depth in that room, a really good amount of depth in that room. I think that is so awesome. And sometimes, unfortunately, depth comes like sometimes quarterback play. But I'll tell you, the quarterback group is as good as it's going to get, as good as a lot of people in this country in terms of depth-wise. And that's when we're fortunate to have guys. Sometimes injuries help. Injuries are terrible, but obviously sometimes they help depth. They help create depth, and guys get experience. So that's been helped. So that helped in the springtime. There's some young, those guys have played a lot. They got thrown into the fire now. Some of those dudes, and now guys are coming in too. Obviously, we had some guys pickups late too, and it's been a great group. Really excited about it.
For you, big picture, what makes a perfect or an ideal backup quarterback?
Oh, that's a good question. What makes an ideal one? A guy who acts like he's a starter, prepares like he's a starter, and it has a really similar, to me, it helps when the guys have similar skill sets to the guy you're starting, because a lot of times your offense is dictated around what your kid can do at quarterback. And right now, this is, I'm just gonna say what it is. We have 5 guys that are not exactly Jalen's skill set, obviously, but can do what but have the ability to run the offense. And we can maintain the offense. So I think if you go down and Colonize there at the top of that list right now, like a backup, behind you, they both can run exactly what we're doing. They're not like, hey, I gotta have this special wristband for the, it's been there. We all had different moments like that. And Cole was really smart initially going to the K-State game as a freshman. Obviously, we did some stuff with Torrey and those guys playing quarterback and Wildcat a little bit more because we had been down with Jason. We were going down that list pretty quickly. But I think that what makes it best. The guy who really acts like he's trained, prepares like he's a starter, and has a great ability to focus and refocus and process information and give mental and reps, because he's not going to get the same amount of reps. Now, our practice model helps those guys. And you guys have seen when you get a chance to watch parts of the practice, is the 2 huddle stuff. If you think about 2 huddles in practice, if we're doing 2 huddle stuff during this, the 1s and 2s are getting the same amount of reps. Now you break the second huddle up, sometimes the 2 and a 3 quarterbacks, sometimes if it's close like these guys are, and mix those in. But think about how many reps those guys get. If you just go 1 huddle, it's the 1s get 8 plays and the 2s get 2 plays. These guys got a lot of reps. So I think that's what makes it critical. Like I said, the key component is being able to get reps without getting reps from a physical standpoint.
You've probably answered this before, but with that, having so many guys, what do you tell them? I mean, only one guy can be the 2, right? Only one guy can be the actual backup. What do you tell the rest of them or all of those guys as they
position, at receiver, if you lose a skill set guy, a running back, receiver, tight end, you can personnel group in some unique ways and still keep. It's not really, if you don't have a second or third tight end, you can put in receiver, you don't have to play, you can put receivers in and so on and so forth. So I tell the quarterbacks it's really simple. Unlike any other position, the number 2 guy is 1 snap away from playing. In our case, it wasn't even a snap when Jason had to play the 1 game. A couple, you're right, you're 1 moment away from playing. And now here's the crazy part, number 3 guy, you're a whopping 2 snaps away from playing. Now here's the crazier part. Number 4 guy, you're 3 snaps away from playing. We can't put a left tackle in to play quarterback. It wouldn't be a great offensive scheme for us. That's all we have, and the 4th guy, the 5th guy is 4 snaps away. So that's how we kind of process. You're not as far away as you think you are, and it could happen in the most critical times. It could be a 2-minute drive, and something happens, and maybe that'll happen, and then all of a sudden, let's say you lose one quarterback, and let's say a shoe comes off or some helmet comes off. We have no timeouts left, and there's 20. You got to make a play. We need you to make a play. So that's why I kind of tell them. I don't know if that's a great philosophy to use, but I'm like, dude, you're pretty close. You're closer than you think. And I think that's how they all prepare. It's a fun room, man. Those guys truly pull for each other. I think you see it in practice. They love each other. They really pull for each other.
It would be very human for those guys to look at this as it's Jalen's last year. Whoever wins that backup job or does well this year potentially puts themselves next in line or a foot ahead of other guys. Have you noticed any added juice in that competition, maybe because of that, or with that kind of, I don't want to say hanging over their heads, but with that being?
What I've seen is an unbelievable off-season of work ethic by those guys. They've always been good, but some of the numbers those dudes put up in terms of speed-wise and strength-wise and the reports you have from shooting, that's why I saw it most. I think it's the inner drive those guys all have, knowing that it's coming sometime, that want to be prepared for it. So I think that's what I've seen the most. Like, they are in as good, though that group of young men are in as good a physical shape as any quarterback room I've ever had. I think it's really, especially in this day and age, it's really unique to have 5 young men who are really good players and really want and like understand what is around the corner. And they also understand that besides last year, a lot of times the 2 or 3 kids played. So I think that's also going like, hey, and what we do offensively, we need to be ready. And if you do have those, you get those like moments of an opportunity to come, you gotta knock that door down.
Do you remember any of those numbers, whether it's speed or otherwise?
I think it was 39 inch vert by Isaiah. I think something like that. Those kind of moments, like not specific stuff, like the increase they've had. I think Isaiah posted it somewhere. He said that. But yeah, the vertical increase, the speed increases. Holy macro. That's the one. That's what I'm like. I just always remember the plus minus. I'm like, okay, they increased by a mile and a half, or a vertical jump by 4 or 5. It's pretty cool. I'm like, gosh darn, there. They've always been great at work ethic guys, but it's been fun.
What does Mike you bring to that dynamic in the room?
He brings like just it's really hard when you're maybe not the second or third guy ready, but have the ability level. He brings that like just, calmness is the wrong word, just like kind of brings it all together. Like you have very few guys at the bottom, at the 4 or 5 world that have the same, that keep the same demeanor and positive attitude and excitement for the other guy. He is the anything you want, coach. Hey, you need me to do more scout team work? I got it. You want me to signal? I got it. What do you want me to do, coach? That guy, he brings that to the table. Besides, he has a great skill set as well, but it's really unique having somebody, coach, whatever you need, he said that to me this end of the spring, after spring, he goes, coach, whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do it. I want to do it. That means I'm doing the work team more, great. I'm going to do whatever you need me to do. I'm like, that is unbelievable. In this day and age, having a young man like that in the room is just, it's very nice to have. It's great to have, really.
How's the competition in the running back room looking?
Good, fun. I'm telling you, every position, I'm going to say offensively, what's unique this year, I think, is you always have competition, but then sometimes you really have competition. I think the fun part is you have guys who are pushing each other in every position room. It's going to make, and like I told you all the time, back in my story, like sometimes the best quarterback coaching is having guys who push each other and make the other guys better. And sometimes they need to see the other guy playing and go, oh crap, I gotta go. I think that helps it. I think those guys help each other. It makes every room better with having LaShawn, obviously Daniel. LaShawn has made both those guys better. And then Johnny and then the young guys, Jay, those younger guys coming up to him made Johnny and those guys better as well. So that's what's fun.
A couple of coaches mentioned yesterday that LaShawn had kind of like rediscovered his joy in football. I mean, what's your perspective on that as a pretty joyous person yourself?
Oh, thank you. I think it's like I said, like take football out of it. I think sometimes in life, people need a reboot. Sometimes you just need a new job. Sometimes people call it a midlife crisis. Obviously, the young man. But sometimes you just need a new spot. And you've seen it all over. I think he just got in a place where I think a lot of people have been in different jobs, let alone in football. I think a lot of players get to the point of going to, I really want to do this again. I got to work this hard again, and I'm not even having fun anymore because I'm not playing as much, or I'm getting yelled at. And I think it's just, you found a spot where like, hey, maybe this kind of fits me, and I need a Ted Lasso type deal going on. I'm freaking, hey, an experience, right? I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but you need something. I think it's been a reboot with Jay Wall, obviously, coaching them, and then with the way my personality, I think it's helped. And just kind of say, hey, just have fun, enjoy it. I think he's enjoying that. He has found the ability to enjoy for the love of the game again. Like he's loved playing football. Like the kids, you sometimes forget it. There's so many other things going on, and sometimes you need a different spot to find it again.
Are there other players you've worked with who have been on that similar path?
Yeah, I can't, not your guy's name, I can't tell you specific names. I'm trying to think about it. Yes, there's moments where I've had, I think every coach in this building has probably had discussions with a kid who come in the room and has said, God, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I want to do this anymore or whatever. Or I've had an ability where a kid transfers in because he's so frustrated about his other job and all of a sudden he, like, one thing, maybe one thing gonna stick it out here, all of a sudden figure something out. And it happens a lot at the D3 work because kids are paying for school. Sometimes there's a lot of different other things going on. Also in that world, all of a sudden it's kind of like, when they find it. So yeah, it's fun when it happens because you can see the smile come back. You know, that's a fun part. I just saw him today. He was laughing. I forgot what after a play he made or something. Just all of a sudden this big smile came up, and I started laughing. I go like, all right, we got a chance. I think that's where a lot of the kids are right now. In a good spot.
Is there any player that sticks out in terms, like a new player who sticks out in terms of retention of the install from spring?
Emmanuel Henderson. Just rapid valley, he picked it up out himself from being in Alabama and playing, being part of that and playing. But he picks stuff up exceptionally fast. Like, and being like, see the route, good, I can run it. And now his ability to play in different positions too. Like he's been, not the other guys haven't, but just him going like, for the stuff we do and how we call stuff sometimes, it's not always maybe the easiest. He's done an unbelievable job of picking stuff up really fast.
Anything else for Coach Zebrowski?
It's hard.